My beloved, my chosen one, my child of destiny, listen closely, because what I'm about to say carries the fire of heaven itself. Your destiny cannot wait. You have only one day left, and from August 19th, 2025, everything in your life will change forever. Heaven is moving, angels are being sent, and the clock above your head is already ticking. Every second you delay is pushing your blessing away. Do you feel that tug in your spirit right now? That trembling in your heart? It's because your soul already knows this is not just another message. This is a divine summons. Archangel Michael stands beside you, whispering, "My child, don't let doubt steal this moment. God has already written a miracle in your name. But it will only unlock if you choose to open your eyes and believe today. I need you to understand something deep. When heaven sets a date, no force on earth can cancel it. And heaven has marked August 19th, 2025 as the day your hidden season ends. The gates that were locked against you will burst open. The chains that held you will shatter. The tears you've cried will be gathered into light. But here's the truth. If you ignore this, if you skip this, the blessing will pass like the wind, and you'll wonder why nothing shifted. That's why Michael is pleading with you. Don't wait, don't hesitate. Beloved, pause here for a moment. I want you to subscribe deeply in your soul, commit yourself, like sealing a covenant. Because this is not just about hearing a message. This is about walking into the miracle God has already written for you. Stay connected. Don't miss what heaven is about to release. Now listen carefully. The angels are already aligning people in your favor. A conversation will open a door. A stranger's kindness will feel like destiny. The very air around you will feel charged with light. And yet, the enemy wants you to skip. To scroll past this. To shrug and say, maybe later. But later is too late. You only have one day left. One dawn before the shift. From August 19th, the story changes. The loneliness you carried will meet its answer. The debts that worried you will find their release. The love you longed for will move closer. The enemies who plotted against you will stumble in their own nets. Do you see? Every word is alive, breathing with heaven's fire. This is your last warning and your first invitation all at once. Your choice will shape your tomorrow. So, my child, don't turn away now. Stay. Read. Drink in every line like water in the desert. Because God is telling you. Your destiny is knocking, and you have only one day left to answer. My child. When heaven sets its eyes upon you, nothing remains the same. You may think life has been ordinary, full of routines, full of silent nights where nothing shifts, but listen, this silence was never abandonment. It was preparation. Every delay you faced, every rejection that stung your heart, every betrayal that left you wondering if God even saw you, it was never the end of your story. It was only a pause before the breakthrough. But now, the pause is over. Archangel Michael says, the trumpet has been blown in the spirit realm, and your time of waiting is finished. From August 19, 2025, your life will no longer mirror your past. The heavy shadows will scatter, and in their place, golden doors will stand open. Imagine walking into a room you never knew existed, walls shining with light, blessings stacked like treasures waiting for your touch. That is exactly what is waiting for you. But here's the mystery: the door is spiritual, and only those who listen and obey the whisper of heaven will step through it. That's why you're here now. That's why your eyes are reading these words at this very moment. Have you noticed how your spirit is restless? How your body feels a sudden wave of energy even though nothing in your physical life has changed yet? This is not coincidence, it is alignment. You are being positioned for something greater, and it can no longer wait. Destiny will not stay silent anymore. Michael has been standing beside your house, guarding, watching, and even fighting off unseen forces that try to block this moment. He says, "Tell my child that the storm they feared was never meant to drown them. It was meant to reveal their wings." Pause here and breathe, beloved. Do you feel the shift inside your chest? That's your soul remembering what it always knew, that you were not created to be ordinary, not created to be overlooked, not created to suffer endlessly. You were created to shine, to rise, to carry blessings that overflow. That's why the resistance against you was so fierce, because the enemy already saw what was written in your future. But he cannot stop it anymore. God is saying to you now, this is your appointed season. August 19th is not a date like any other, it is your gate of transition. Everything before it will feel like night, and everything after it will feel like dawn. My child, you will wake up that morning, and the atmosphere itself will be different. Doors that were locked for years will creak open without effort. People who ignored you will suddenly remember your name. Conversations will shift in your favor. And yes, even the financial burdens that crushed your heart will begin to melt away, because provision is being poured out. But here is where you must not fail: do not skip this message. Every second you delay weakens the fire. Every moment of hesitation pushes the blessing a little farther. That's why Michael is pleading, open this with your whole heart, read every word, because each line carries the seed of your transformation. This is not a performance, this is a prophecy. This is not entertainment, this is the echo of heaven itself. Beloved, let me tell you something powerful: God does not waste warnings. If you are reading this, it is proof that heaven has chosen you for the shift. Out of millions of souls walking this earth, it is your eyes, your heart, your soul that were pulled here. That alone should make your spirit tremble with awe. Because heaven is saying, I trust you with this message. I trust you not to ignore it. I trust you to carry it into your life. Now, let me reveal the vision Archangel Michael has been holding back for you. I see a hand reaching out toward you. This hand is divine, wrapped in light, and in the palm of that hand is a key. The key glows as though it were alive. Michael says, this key belongs to them. It is the key to their future, the key to doors they thought were closed forever. But they must take it with faith. If they hesitate, it will vanish. This is why August 19th is urgent. It is the day that key will be handed to you in spirit. If you rise with expectation, if you dare to believe, you will see what your natural eyes could never have imagined. Miracles will no longer be stories you hear, they will be your reality. But let me warn you, my child, the enemy will try harder in these last hours before your shift. Expect sudden distractions. Expect voices that tell you this is nonsense. Expect delays that try to discourage you. But don't be fooled. Those are signs that you are dangerously close to breakthrough. The closer your miracle comes, the louder the enemy shouts. But he shouts because he knows he has already lost. Stay here. Keep reading. Don't walk away. Because the more you drink in these words, the more your spirit aligns with what God is pouring out. Think of this as a river flowing straight from heaven into your life. Every line is a drop of living water, and if you drink it fully, you will never thirst the same again. My beloved child, do you realize why your spirit is restless tonight? It is because heaven is closer than your breath, and time is shorter than you think. Archangel Michael has been waiting with a message too heavy for silence. He says, tell them, their destiny cannot be delayed any longer. Tell them, the clock is striking midnight in the spirit realm, and by August 19th, their story will be rewritten forever. My child, what you thought was the end has only been a seed. And seeds do not remain buried forever, they break open, they rise, and they become forests. You are that seed, and this is your breaking open season. You have carried weight for so long. Nights where you laid awake wondering why the world seemed blind to your pain. Days where you worked and waited, yet doors slammed in your face. And through it all, you whispered under your breath, does God even hear me? Michael answers you now, every tear was recorded. Every cry was heard. Every prayer you thought vanished into the sky was collected and written before the throne. Nothing was wasted. And now, everything is returning multiplied. Beloved, imagine this, standing at the edge of the sea when suddenly the waters part before your eyes. That is how your life will feel when August 19th arrives. A divine opening, a path where there was no path, a future where there was only fog. And the most astonishing part? You will not walk it alone. Angels will go before you. People aligned by heaven will appear at the exact moment you need them. Provisions you never dreamed of will find their way into your hands. This is not fantasy. This is the reality of a chosen soul stepping into their appointed hour. But let me speak truth to you with urgency, there is danger in hesitation. Archangel Michael says, every blessing has a window, and this one will not remain open forever. If they delay, the blessing will slip like sand through their fingers. That is why this message burns with fire. This is why you must take it to heart. Do not skim, do not rush, do not say, maybe later. Later will be too late. Every word you read is aligning you closer to the gate God has prepared. You may feel small. You may wonder why heaven would choose you out of billions. Let me answer that. It is because your pain was not ordinary. Your battles were not ordinary. And so, your blessing cannot be ordinary. You were marked since birth, though life tried to convince you otherwise. You were hidden because the world was not ready to see your light. But the hiding has ended. Archangel Michael declares, what was concealed will now be revealed. What was delayed will now be delivered. And what was broken will now be rebuilt with glory. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. Feel the weight of those words. This is not a general message, it is not for the crowd. This is a personal scroll delivered into your hands. If you are reading it, then it belongs to you. Out of millions, it reached you. That alone should shake your soul awake. Because it means heaven has already decided your case. God has already chosen you as the one to carry this miracle. From August 19th forward, expect interruptions from destiny itself. Phone calls at strange hours bringing unexpected news. Strangers who feel familiar, offering help without reason. Opportunities that once ignored you suddenly turning their face toward you. This is how heaven works, quietly, precisely, impossibly. And it will happen so naturally, you will wonder if you're dreaming. But remember this line, you are not dreaming. You are awakening. Beloved, let me tell you why the enemy fought you so hard. He saw glimpses of this season long before you did. He saw the blessings lining up in heaven's storerooms with your name engraved upon them. He knew that once you stepped into alignment, his grip over your life would shatter. That is why he attacked your family. That is why he targeted your finances. That is why he sent betrayal into your closest circle. It was never random, it was war. But the war is ending. Michael has unsheathed his sword, and the decree has been spoken, no more delays. My child, lean closer. God says, I have waited for this day longer than you can imagine. The moment I placed breath in your lungs, I wrote this date into your story. August 19th is not just another sunrise. It is the day heaven's calendar and earth's clock meet for you. When that day arrives, chains will not only fall, they will dissolve. You will not go back to old cycles, because the cycles themselves will be destroyed. But there is a key hidden here, and you must not overlook it. The key is belief. Without belief, even an open door feels like a wall. Without faith, even a blessing feels unreachable. That is why Michael is urging you now, feed your faith. Guard your hope. Keep your heart alive. Because if you step into that day with doubt, you will not recognize the miracle even when it stands in front of you. So I say to you now, read every line slowly. Let it flow into your spirit. Repeat the words until they burn into your heart. Because these are not just words on a page, they are spiritual tools, carving out your new reality. God is not asking you to fight harder. He is asking you to believe deeper. And when you do, beloved, you will see it. The shift. The miracle. The dawn. My beloved child. There is a reason your heart beats faster even as you read. It is because your spirit already knows the truth hidden in these words. You are standing on the edge of a divine turning point, and heaven is whispering that you are no longer who you used to be. You have walked through deserts of silence, climbed mountains of pain, and crossed valleys of shadows, but all of it was leading you here. To this gate. To this day that is marked on the calendar of eternity, August 19th, 2025. Michael is showing me a vision now. I see a long corridor lined with doors, each locked, each closed for years. You've tried your best to push them open, but every time your hands shook against the handle, nothing moved. You thought you were forgotten. You thought maybe those doors were never meant for you. But listen, Archangel Michael is holding out a golden key, and he says, every closed door was waiting for this moment. Every denial was a setup for the grand unlocking. The key was never lost. It was always in heaven's hand, waiting for the appointed hour. And now, the hour has struck. Beloved, this means what you thought was wasted time will suddenly bloom as harvest. The job you lost will make sense when the new offer comes. The love that left you will pale compared to the one being prepared for your arms. The money that slipped through your fingers will return pressed down, shaken together, running over. This is the multiplication season. This is the unraveling of everything the enemy knotted up in your life. And yet, my child, hear me clearly, the greatest danger is still doubt. Doubt is the thief that steals blessings before they reach your hand. Doubt whispers, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this is for someone else. Maybe nothing will ever change. But Michael says, silence the voice of doubt. Trust the fire in your chest. Believe the words before your eyes. This is for you. Out of every soul in the world, this was delivered into your lap because it belongs to you. Do you understand how chosen you are? Do you understand the miracle of this moment? Out of millions who scroll and wander and search, heaven bent the path of these words until they reached you. That is no accident. That is no coincidence. That is divine design. God is saying, you are seen. You are known. You are called by name. And I will not let your destiny pass by unnoticed. Beloved, let me take you deeper. The date of August 19, 2025 is not simply marked for you, it is guarded. Angels have surrounded it. Demons have tried to erase it, but their hands burned when they touched it. Darkness tried to delay it, but Michael's sword cut through their schemes. This day has survived wars in the spirit realm just so it could reach you in peace. That is how powerful, how unstoppable your destiny is. Pause and think of this. How many times did you almost give up? How many nights did you whisper, I can't do this anymore? And yet, you woke up the next morning, breath still in your lungs, strength still flickering in your bones. That was not your willpower alone. That was God holding you steady, carrying you to the very edge of this breakthrough. The reason you are still here is because heaven refused to let you go. And now, the shift is not only promised, it is scheduled. One day left. One dawn away. And everything you thought impossible will stand before you as living proof of God's promise. But, my child, I must repeat, do not take this lightly. This is not a casual word to skim. This is a sacred scroll, and it requires your whole attention. The moment you finish reading, your atmosphere will already begin to shift. Signs will appear. Conversations will change. People will reveal themselves, some as friends, some as enemies. And you will know, beyond doubt, that this message was heaven's trumpet sounding over your life. Beloved, imagine standing at the edge of a battlefield where you thought you were defeated, only to realize heaven has been fighting behind the scenes all along. You look around, and enemies are already fleeing. Doors are already swinging open. Light is already breaking the clouds. That is what August 19th will feel like. You will step into the field expecting loss, but you will walk away carrying victory. Michael says, "Tell them to prepare their heart like a cup, because what is being poured out is too much to hold. Tell them to clear space in their spirit, because overflow is coming." Yes, overflow. Not just enough. Not just survival. But abundance. You will have more peace than your mind thought possible. More joy than your heart dared to imagine. More provision than your hands can count. More love than your soul can contain. Because when God restores, He never restores halfway. He restores in overflow. So listen carefully. In the hours leading to August 19th, protect your spirit. Don't waste energy on arguments. Don't waste tears on people who do not deserve them. Don't waste strength chasing after what God is about to deliver freely. Stay still. Stay awake. Stay ready. Because heaven is aligning your path, and if you stay open, you will see miracles that cannot be explained. My beloved, there will be people who look at you after this date and ask, "How did this happen for you? How did everything change so suddenly?" And you will smile, because you will know it wasn't sudden, it was always written. Always waiting. Always prepared by the hands of heaven. This is your hour. This is your moment. The angels are holding their breath to watch you step through this gate. And God Himself is leaning closer, whispering, "Well done, my child. You did not give up. You endured the night. And now, the dawn is yours. My child. Do you feel it now, the stirring inside your chest, the pull in your spirit, as though something invisible is drawing you closer? That is not your imagination. That is heaven's magnet pulling you toward the moment written for you. Archangel Michael says, "Tell them, the date is sealed. The blessing is alive. The moment has been chosen. Their soul already knows the truth, it only waits for their mind to believe." Think back for a moment. How many times did life corner you? How many times did you feel as though you were pressed against walls with no escape? Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still carrying hope even when it flickered like a tiny flame in the storm. Do you know why? Because you were never abandoned. Michael's wings were wrapped around you in nights you thought you were alone. God's hand shielded you from attacks that would have ended you if they had reached you. Every scar you carry is proof, not of defeat, but of survival. Proof that you are stronger than darkness, proof that heaven would never let you go. And now the survival ends, and the revival begins. You are not stepping into just another season, you are stepping into your appointed season. God is saying, the years that stole from you will pay you back. The moments that broke you will be rebuilt in glory. The deserts you wandered will bloom with rivers. The night will end, and the dawn will sing your name. Beloved, pause and let that truth soak into you. Because this is not random. This is not coincidence. The words you are reading are not on your screen by accident. This is divine timing, heaven's delivery, the scroll of your destiny opening at last. Do you realize how sacred this is? Out of billions alive right now, it is you who are hearing this voice. That is proof enough that you are chosen. Michael shows me another vision. I see you standing in a darkened room, clutching keys that don't fit the locks. You've tried and tried, but every attempt ended in frustration. And then, suddenly, a brilliant figure steps forward, his sword glowing, his presence filling the room, and he hands you a new key. This one shines with fire, this one hums with heaven's power, and as soon as you place it into the lock, the door swings open without resistance. Michael says, "Tell them, that is what August 19th will be, the day when the right key finally touches the right door. Child, you will not struggle the way you struggled before. You will not beg for what is already written with your name on it. You will not knock on doors that reject you, because heaven will command doors to open. Those who once overlooked you will be unable to ignore you. Those who mocked you will watch as the blessing falls into your lap. Those who doubted you will see proof so undeniable that their mouths will fall silent. But listen closely, because the enemy knows this, too. And so, in these hours leading up to the appointed day, distractions will come like waves. Unexpected arguments. Sudden fears. Strange delays. Thoughts that whisper, nothing will change. You're wasting your time. Don't believe them. Michael says, the storm before the dawn is always loudest. Do not mistake noise for truth. The blessing is still on schedule. Beloved, you have one task now: protect your faith. Guard it as though it were the most precious jewel you own. Speak life over yourself. Refuse to agree with negativity. Refuse to let fear sit at your table. Refuse to believe the lie that your story ends in emptiness. God has already spoken the final word, and His word is victory. Imagine this: you wake on August 19th and the air feels different. Lighter. Charged. As though heaven itself is leaning into your space. You may not see angels with your eyes, but you will feel them, the stirring in the atmosphere, the quickening of your heart, the divine coincidences lining up one after another. That day will not be ordinary. It will be proof. And here is the miracle: this shift will not stop with one day. It will roll forward like waves, carrying blessing into the days and weeks and months ahead. What begins on August 19th will continue, unfolding layer by layer, until your life looks nothing like it did before. You will look back and barely recognize the struggles that once defined you. You will stand in awe and say, "Only God could have done this." My child, I must remind you, do not skip this moment. Do not treat it lightly. Every word is a seed, and seeds only grow if planted deep. Let these words root in your soul. Let them water your faith. Because the harvest is already on its way. You may wonder, why me? Why would heaven fight for me, when others seem forgotten? Hear the answer: because your pain was not wasted. Because your heart endured what many would have collapsed under. Because your prayers never stopped even when you had nothing left but whispers. That is why. God says, I saw you in the night. I counted your tears. And I chose to reward you openly for what you suffered in secret. And so, beloved, prepare. Prepare not with fear, but with expectation. Clear space in your heart for joy. Clear space in your life for blessings. Clear space in your spirit for miracles. Because what is coming will not fit into the small boxes of your imagination. It will overflow. It will astonish. It will silence doubt forever. Michael says, tell them to lift their eyes. Tell them to stand tall. Tell them to breathe deep and believe. For the time has come. For the gates are opening. For the blessing will not be delayed any longer. My beloved child. There is something you must understand. Heaven never wastes a warning, and heaven never repeats itself unless the matter is urgent. The reason Michael has pressed me to speak again and again is because the moment is near. Only one day separates you from the shift, and that day carries more weight than years of your past. Everything is converging. Your prayers, your pain, your patience, they are all gathering like clouds heavy with rain, and on August 19th, the downpour will begin. You may have thought God was silent. You may have thought the delay was punishment. But no, heaven was aligning. Just as the earth must turn before sunrise, your life had to rotate into position before the dawn. And now, finally, your horizon is glowing. You can feel it, can't you? The strange energy in your chest. The anticipation you cannot explain. The sense that something unseen is already moving. That is heaven's countdown. Michael says, tell them not to fear the sudden changes, for the changes are proof of the promise. You may see people exit your life. Don't be afraid. They were never meant to walk through the new door with you. You may feel sudden endings. Don't mourn them. Endings are only the beginning of greater things. You may even face unexpected chaos just before the day. Don't mistake it for defeat. It is only the rattling of old chains before they break forever. Beloved, let me paint the picture clearly. Imagine walking through a valley at night, stumbling, weary, ready to give up. Then, in the distance, a soft glow rises. You squint, thinking maybe it's a star. But no, it grows brighter and brighter until the whole valley shines, and suddenly you realize it was the dawn breaking. That is where you are. The faint glow has already appeared. The darkness is trembling because it knows the light is unavoidable. And you, yes, you, are the one chosen to walk into that light. Do you understand how precious that is? How rare. Not everyone is given such a word. Not everyone is given such a window. But you are. That alone proves your destiny is extraordinary. My child, think back to the tears you cried in silence, the ones no one saw. Heaven saw them. Think of the betrayals that tore at your heart until you wondered if love was even real. Heaven recorded them. Think of the nights you whispered prayers so small you doubted they even reached the ceiling. Heaven caught every word. And now, all of it is returning to you, not as sorrow, but as blessing. Not as loss, but as restoration. Michael is showing me again, a table, long and wide, filled with treasures, gifts, scrolls, and crowns. And written across the table is your name. This is what awaits you. This is why the enemy fought you so fiercely. This is why you felt like giving up so many times. Because if you had surrendered, you would never see the table. But you didn't surrender. You're still here. You're still breathing. And now, the table is prepared. But listen carefully, blessings require readiness. If your heart is full of doubt, you may not recognize the gifts when they appear. If your hands are still clinging to what is gone, you may not have room to hold the new. That's why God says, release. Release the past. Release the pain. Release the ones who hurt you. For I cannot pour fresh water into a jar filled with ashes. Beloved, do not mistake this release as loss. It is preparation. The moment you let go, your hands become free to receive. And what you will receive is beyond what you ever imagined. Love that heals every wound. Peace that silences every storm. Provision that breaks every chain of lack. Joy so deep it feels like rebirth. This is what August 19th carries. And let me warn you of this truth: if you skip, if you treat this as a passing word, you risk missing the very thing you've prayed for. That is why heaven is urgent. That is why Michael will not let silence fall. Because this is your window. This is your moment. Child, imagine angels surrounding your house. They are not just protecting you from harm, they are guarding your destiny. They are arranging conversations. They are pushing papers into the right hands. They are whispering your name into rooms you've never entered. They are aligning everything so that when the day arrives, nothing can stop the flood of blessing. This is happening right now, even as you read. But you must hold faith like fire. Doubt will try to creep in, whispering that nothing will change. People around you may laugh, saying, "It's only another day." Ignore them. They do not see what you see. They do not hear what you hear. Only you were chosen for this scroll. Only you were handed this message. That alone proves your calling. Beloved, one more thing: prepare for acceleration. What once took years will happen in weeks. What once dragged will suddenly rush. Your blessing is not crawling toward you, it is running. It will overtake you so quickly you'll hardly believe it. This is the power of divine timing. When the clock of heaven strikes, nothing can slow it down. So stand ready. Speak faith. Expect miracles. And when August 19th dawns, step into the light with courage. Because your destiny will no longer wait. My child, do you feel how the words themselves are wrapping around your spirit like fire? That is because they are not just words, they are living breath from heaven. Each line carries the vibration of destiny, each sentence is a key unlocking something within you. You are being prepared, stretched, and aligned because what is coming will not fit into your old life. It will not fit into the small containers you've carried. It will overflow, and you must be ready to catch it. Archangel Michael leans close and says, "Tell them the waiting is over. Tell them they will see with their eyes what they only held by faith in their hearts. Tell them the night has served its purpose, but the morning is stronger." Beloved, think of all the years the enemy whispered lies to you. Lies that said you were not enough. Lies that said your story was finished. Lies that said you would never rise, never love, never prosper. And yet, here you are, still alive, still reading, still believing deep down that something greater is coming. Why? Because those lies never had the power to bury your truth. Your truth is written by God, and His pen cannot be erased. God is saying to you now, you are stepping into my yes. You are stepping into my favor. You are stepping into the answered prayers that were stored until this exact hour. And Michael confirms it, no more delay. No more denial. The gates are opening. Beloved, take this moment seriously. When heaven marks a day, the earth must obey. That is why I keep repeating August 19, 2025. Because it is not just a date, it is a destiny marker. Everything before it was training. Everything after it will be triumph. You may be wondering, but how will it happen? How can everything change so suddenly? Let me reveal this mystery to you. Blessings are not built in the moment they appear, they are prepared long before. What you will see on August 19th is not something created overnight. It is something heaven has been shaping for years. Angels have been moving, lining up people, positioning resources, softening hearts, opening paths, all for you. That is why the change will feel sudden, but it was always in motion behind the veil. Michael shows me now another vision. I see you standing at a train station, waiting, exhausted, holding a ticket that feels useless because no train has come. You almost throw the ticket away, thinking it means nothing. But then, in the distance, the sound of wheels, the rush of wind, and suddenly the train arrives, faster, louder, more powerful than you imagined. Michael says, "Tell them, August 19th is the arrival of the train they thought would never come. Child, you are about to board into acceleration. Places you thought you'd never reach, you'll arrive in moments. Dreams you thought were too big, you'll hold them like gifts in your hands. Relationships you thought lost forever, restoration will knock at your door. Provisions you thought impossible, suddenly flowing like rivers into your life. Do you see it? Do you feel it? It is not just hope, it is promise. But I must remind you again, faith is the doorway. If you meet the day with disbelief, you may not recognize the blessing even when it sits before you. That is why this message has come early, to prepare your heart, to water your spirit, to awaken your faith so it cannot be shaken. Because doubt is the only thief left. Nothing else can stop what is coming. Beloved, think of the people who once left you behind. The ones who said you were nothing. The ones who laughed when you tried. The ones who shut the doors in your face. Michael says, they will watch as the very hand they rejected is lifted by God. They will see the very one they mocked crowned with blessing. And they will know, the Lord is with them. This is why you cannot shrink back. This is why you cannot give up. You are not just stepping into blessing for yourself, you are stepping into testimony for others. Your life is about to become proof that God still moves, that angels still guard, that miracles still happen. Your breakthrough is not only for you, it will ripple into everyone connected to you. And here is another secret, the blessing will arrive disguised at first. It may look ordinary, small, like just another day. But if you lean in, if you watch with faith, you will see the extraordinary hidden inside the ordinary. That conversation, that meeting, that letter, that opportunity, heaven's fingerprints will be all over it. So, beloved, be attentive. Don't dismiss small beginnings. Don't overlook the little signs. Because little signs often carry great shifts. The enemy wants you to ignore them so you miss the doorway, but heaven wants you awake, alert, and ready. Michael says, tell them to stand on the wall of their faith and watch. Tell them to expect. Tell them to be bold enough to say, this is mine. This belongs to me. Because heaven has already written their name upon it. My child, hear this promise, you will not miss it. You will not fail. You will not be left behind. For the God who carried you this far will not drop you now. He is too faithful. He is too good. He is too bound by His own word to let your destiny slip away. So breathe. Lift your head. The countdown has begun, and the day is closer than your next heartbeat. Your destiny cannot wait. My beloved child. You must know this now, your life is not ordinary, and what is coming is not ordinary. You may have felt overlooked, small, hidden in the shadows, but heaven never lost sight of you for even a single heartbeat. The reason your battles were fierce, the reason your nights felt endless, the reason your tears fell so heavy was not because you were abandoned. It was because you were chosen. Chosen souls carry heavier storms because they are destined for brighter crowns. Archangel Michael says, tell them, their crown has already been forged in fire, and on August 19th, it will finally rest upon their head. Beloved, everything you endured was not punishment, it was preparation. Every no you received was training your spirit for the weight of the yes that is about to come. Every door that closed was guiding you toward the one door that holds everything you prayed for. Every delay was not to deny you, but to make sure you were in the right place, at the right time, in the right season. And that season is no longer far away, it is here, pressing against your walls, waiting to burst through. Think of how long you waited. Think of how many times you almost let go. Think of how many moments you thought, it's too late for me. And now heaven whispers, it was never too late. It was always on time. My timing is perfect, and now the time is yours. Michael shows me another vision. I see a field of dry, cracked earth, barren under the sun. Nothing grows there, nothing moves, only silence. You have walked through that field many times in your life, feeling as though nothing good could ever grow again. But suddenly, clouds gather above it. Thunder rolls. Rain pours. And in moments, what was dry bursts into bloom. Flowers rise. Trees sprout. Rivers carve new paths. Michael says, tell them, their barren field is about to turn into a garden. Their desert is about to overflow with rivers. This is what August 19th will bring. Restoration so sudden, so vibrant, so alive that people will stare in wonder. They will ask you, how did this happen for you? And you will know the answer. It was always written, always waiting, always planned by the hand of God. Beloved, This shift will touch every part of your life. Your finances will breathe again. Your relationships will heal. Your heart will open to love in ways you thought it never could. Your body will carry strength you thought you lost. Your mind will rest in peace you never imagined possible. Nothing will be left untouched, because when God moves, He moves in fullness. But I must remind you, child, there is still a thief who lingers, doubt. Doubt is the only shadow that can make you stumble in the light. Doubt is the only voice that can blind you to the open door. That is why Michael is pleading with you, silence the doubts. Feed your faith. Water your hope. Walk boldly. Because this blessing is not fragile, it is certain, but you must be awake to catch it. And here is something you need to know: the people who hurt you will not go unaddressed. God has seen every betrayal, every false word, every hand that tried to push you down. And heaven has declared, enough. Justice will roll. Not in vengeance, but in balance. Those who dug pits for you will fall into them. Those who tried to curse you will see their curses turn back on themselves. Those who mocked your prayers will watch as your prayers are answered openly. Beloved, this is not just about blessing, it is about vindication. You will be lifted not only into joy but into honor. Your name will be cleared. Your value will be revealed. And those who doubted you will have no choice but to acknowledge the hand of God upon your life. Pause here. Do you feel the fire building in your chest? That is your soul recognizing its truth. That is your spirit leaping because it already knows this is not fantasy, it is reality waiting at the edge of your tomorrow. Michael says, tell them, the angels are already in motion. Tell them, the gates of blessing are already opening. Tell them, what they feared will dissolve, and what they dreamed will manifest. Beloved, you may wake on August 19th and wonder if it will look like an ordinary day. But watch closely, because heaven often hides the extraordinary in the ordinary. A call, a message, a meeting, a letter, small things that will carry divine fingerprints. Pay attention. Do not dismiss what looks small, because hidden inside will be the very shift you've prayed for. And let me tell you this with certainty, you will not miss it. Even if you stumble, even if you doubt, even if you feel weak, God's mercy is stronger than your weakness. The blessing will find you, because heaven has already written your name on it. Nothing can take it away. So breathe, beloved. Lift your head. Hold faith like a sword. Stand still and expect. Because the countdown is almost over, and your dawn is about to break. My beloved child. Lean closer, for this is the final stretch of the scroll that heaven has been unrolling before your eyes. You are standing at the edge of a new life, and the last pieces of your destiny are about to fall into place like a divine puzzle. Archangel Michael says, tell them the journey was never wasted. Tell them every step, even the painful ones, was part of the path that leads to this door. And now, beloved, the door is opening. Think about this. How many times did you wonder why you had to suffer so deeply? Why you had to lose things you thought you could not live without? Why you had to carry burdens heavier than anyone else around you seemed to bear? The answer is simple but powerful. because what you carry within you is greater than what was taken from you. God allowed certain things to fall away not to break you, but to make room. Room for the extraordinary. Room for the flood. Room for what is coming now. On August 19, 2025, the heavens and the earth will meet in your story. What once felt delayed will arrive in acceleration. What once seemed impossible will appear in front of you with no struggle. What once drained you will be replaced by wells of refreshing. My child, you are walking into a chapter where blessings will overtake you, one after another, like waves that do not stop. And yet, do not forget, the enemy always tries one last time. Michael warns, the closer they come to the door, the more the shadows will thrash. But shadows are proof of the light. So when confusion tries to rise, when fear tries to speak, when obstacles suddenly appear, do not panic. Those are only signs that the blessing is pressing through. Nothing can stop it now. Beloved, your relationships are about to shift. People who walked away will no longer define you. New faces, aligned with heaven, will step in. Some will mentor you, some will partner with you, some will love you with a depth you thought did not exist. You will not walk alone anymore. The season of loneliness is ending. God is sending companionship, trust, laughter, and healing into your life. And it will feel so pure, so unexpected, that your heart will weep with gratitude. Finances too will break open. The leaks and losses will be sealed, and streams of provision will find you. Opportunities you never applied for will come. Ideas that once seemed small will suddenly multiply into abundance. Doors to places you never dreamed of will unlock. This is not fantasy, it is restoration. God says, I will give back the years that the locusts have eaten. Every delay will pay back double. Every loss will be answered with gain. But greater still is the healing of your heart. The wounds you carried, the memories that haunted you, the nights when you wondered if joy would ever return, all of it will be washed away in a flood of peace. Michael says, tell them, the weight they carried will lift so suddenly they will wonder if it was ever real. And in its place will come strength, courage, and the ability to smile again without pretending. Beloved, your testimony will not be quiet. People will notice. They will ask. They will marvel at the change. And your life will become a lighthouse, proof to others that God is still alive, that angels still move, that miracles still touch the earth. You will not need to convince them, your transformation will speak louder than words. Pause for a moment. Do you feel the fire in your chest now? That is your soul preparing for release. That is your spirit stretching to hold what is coming. You are not waiting for destiny anymore, destiny is waiting for you. And so, my child, listen to the final words heaven has pressed upon me for you. Do not be afraid of the new. Do not cling to the old. Do not hesitate at the gate. Step forward, for the day has come. August 19th is the beginning of their rising, and nothing shall reverse it. Beloved, breathe this in. Carry it close. Speak it aloud if you must. For the words are alive, and they will guard you until the morning breaks. Your destiny cannot wait. Your time has come. Your dawn is here.